Hey, good morning. It's Mike Zschunke with Berkshire Hathaway Homes and Shift Home Properties in Scottsdale, Arizona. Friday morning market chat with Mike. We're going to talk about residential. We're going to talk about commercial. We're going to talk about the economy a little bit. It's been a crazy week. Super busy. Let's see. First, inventory. Multiple listing services up 73, up to 14,000. Single family detached homes. Maricopa County is up 57. Scottsdale is down 2. We've only got 1,252 single-family detached homes for sale. It's 50% more than last year, but that's the 7th down week. So when you'll see the headlines. We'll talk about them in a little bit. The national numbers about inventory rising. Real estate is hyper-local. It's even neighborhood to neighborhood. There's quite a big difference. So Scottsdale tends to be a little bit higher price point, and that's what's selling. It's busy. So anyway, existing home sales nationwide were pretty flat. Came out this morning, down just slightly in May and down 3% year over year. Nationwide inventory is up 6.7% for May, but up 18% year over year. Now remember, we're comparing that to last year. Last year was a very slow year, real estate transaction wise. And remember, you have to separate that. Number of transactions is down a little bit. Doesn't mean that the market's slow, but just compared to last year. So Robert Refkin on Compass, he says we're getting he was just on CNBC, we're getting some confusing signals. We've seen a lot of price drops. And as I've said before, it's getting harder to get buyers and sellers together. It's my job to make the deal happen, get you where you need to be, bring everybody together on the same page. It's getting a little more difficult. Thankfully, we've been blessed. We can pick and choose a little bit who I like to work with. We meet face to face. If I can help you, great. If I can't, I'll be happy to refer you. If I take a listing that's worth $1 million and you think it's worth $2 million, we're not going to work well together. That doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do you any good. There's an old saying, be the third agent on a property to sell a property. Just because, I like our track record of 100% sales of everything we listed. So we like to keep that and, just have to be reasonable. It doesn't, like I said, then you're going to go around and say, oh, he sucks because he didn't sell my house. Well, you wanted $2 million for your house when it's worth $1 million. That brings me to what's a property worth. We're looking for a property for a client, good client in Mesa, $750,000 price range. Made an offer last week. We were up against 5 we made an offer. There were 5 other offers, all above all above asking price. 2 were cash. So it was a little tough. We didn't get it. We'll get the next one. It's all right. But like I said, you ask the right price right off the bat, and you'll get it. You'll get multiple offers. There's plenty of buyers, people moving to the area, companies moving to the area. It's tight. We've got, I haven't taken a listing under $500,000 in quite a while. Well, this helping some friends out. Friends of friends, and actually previous clients. They got into this situation, $350,000. We got it under contract. Single family detached home. It's a great rental, actually $2,500 a month, $350,000. But I got a bunch of offers, and I have to say the lack of professionalism at that price range is terrible. The details matter. When I get the offers, it's under contract. If you've got still some pre-filled in, it's a standard form, Arizona. It's pretty standard. We change the details. But if you've got details from your last offer or last transaction, I don't even want to do business with you. So, details matter. And if you're hiring an agent, please talk to them, meet with them, pick up the phone, have a conversation. If you can't do it face to face, just, wow, what an eye-opener. So just goes to show there's a difference in professionalism in this industry. And we like to say that we hang out with the top of professionals in the industry. And it's just a little different service. If I if I buy or sell, find or sell you a property, if I sell a property for you or find you a property and there's no real hiccups, then I did my job. My job's to protect you, keep the emotion out of it, and get you the best deal that you can. Interesting, housing starts were down 5.5% this month. It's lowest since 2020. That's where we're going to need to get this inventory from. Building permits were down almost 4%. I think 3.8%. For builders, deals just aren't pricing out. It's expensive to build. Land is expensive. So if they're a smaller builder and they're not sitting on a bank of land, they're having a hard time making deals work. So that's why you'll see the national numbers. You'll see builders, new builds. I think we get new build sales coming out next week, and I expect that to be a little bit low, even though they're buying down rates. And just go see a community during the building process. You'll see the quality, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus there, but we've seen some crappy new builds recently. I thought they were getting better, but be careful out there. So anyway, you know, we meet our clients. Can we work together and get you where you need to be? So, you know, we had a good meeting with a friend, Ricardo. He's an awesome architect, commercial and residential. Let me know if you're looking for one. He was saying the same thing. It's getting harder to get clients together on projects. With the technology today, people think they can do it themselves, but you miss out on a lot of things. He was talking about a house. We see a lot of $5, $10 million houses that have no personality. And when he designs them, they feel good. And that's just the difference between putting a design into a CAD and really meeting down and getting to know your client. And that's kind of how we approach business. So, good guy. If you need an architect, let me know. Phoenix, commercial, population's still booming. Lots of companies coming here, lots of building going on in the perimeters. The northwest side, the southwest side. Lending on the commercial side has gotten super tight. Lending is short-term financing. There's an estimated $300 billion in private money sitting on the sidelines, just waiting for opportunities. Commercial's been a little slow. It's tough to make the numbers work on a lot of deals. Unless you're an end user. End users are a little bit different. They can maybe pay a little more, make a better offer because they're going to be the ones renting the property from themselves. Let us know if you need to know how to set that up for your tax advantage. Actually, ask your accountant, but we can guide you through that a little bit. Commercial loan modifications were up 195% in the last 2 months. As I've said before, banks don't want to hold the real estate. Commercial financing is short term, 2, 5, 10 years. So as those are expiring at these higher rates now than they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, banks don't want that real estate. So I don't really see that coming back on the market like a lot of the private money is waiting for. There's a lot of cash out there. You'll see the big deals, the big office buildings, and people, BlackRock walking away from a $100 million building. You know, I don't deal in those, but you'll see it on the headlines. They like to make a good story about it. They make it fun, but I really don't see the flood of commercial properties like they're expecting. I could be wrong. Maybe, I don't know. We're always looking for land, small industrial to build storage units. We tend to work with a lot of car builders, small car builders. TJ at Baja 911 makes a cool product. Actually, Murphy over at Ammo AZ, you heard us talk about him before. He's opening July 4th. He's still at his shop in Deer Valley. He's got some great sales this week before they move, but I'm excited to see how that project comes up. They're going to open July 4th, 53rd Avenue in Bell, so go check them out. We always like to see how our commercial clients, you know, how they take whatever we get the building at and what they turn it into, and it just provides wealth for generations and generations. So they're super psyched. We stole that building and super psyched for them. Seeing a lot of medical offices training, small mom and pop retail. I'm seeing some deals. Multifamily was super hot last few years. Everybody who took a weekend class with Grant Cardone or whoever, and they got into it and over leveraged, got over their head. So I think we're going to see some good multifamily deals coming to the market. Of course, I don't know, but I think a lot of people got in over their head, and as rates came up, the numbers didn't pencil out. So we look at the details, see, we try to get you where you want to be. Anyway, the economy. We had some great long-term treasury auctions this week. Rick Santelli, love him, used to stand next to him on the Chicago Board of Trade years ago. He's hilarious. We think the same, and just an overall a good guy. But some long-term treasury auctions were good. Remember, with treasuries, prices down, rates go up. Prices up, because a lot of people are bidding on the auctions, then rates go down. So they had some good, but then I looked into who I said last week, who's buying these treasuries. It's big insurance companies. That's the largest lender of money right now into the money system. So are they just kind of trying 10-year, 4.26% this morning? Are they locking in that rate because they don't know? Investors like certainty. They don't like uncertainty. They want to be rewarded. So if there's any questionable, they want to get a higher rate of return. And think about that. When people talk about higher interest rates, not only you're lending, but there's also a borrow side too. So you need to be rewarded for taking on that piece of risk. Leading economic indicators was down a little bit this morning. People will say inflation's decreasing. That's incorrect. We still have inflation. It's increasing. It is not increasing as fast as it was. So we are getting it under control, but prices are still going up. So just, pay attention. Details matter. I say that all the time. Details matter. And who are you listening to? Who's saying that? I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But inflation's getting under control. Remember, Chairman Powell's hands are kind of talked. Everybody likes to bitch about him. Fed controls monetary policy and the monetary supply. The U.S. Treasury controls fiscal policy. That's U.S. government spending. And I try to keep politics out of business. But we've got to stop the U.S. government spending. We've got to vote. If you know me, you know where I stand. I'm not going to judge anybody or anything, but we've got to get this government spending under control. We've had free money for years, and now, it's okay to have a little bit, 3, 4, 5% interest rates. You get 5% on your Wells Fargo CD. That's awesome. Why wouldn't you do that? So you got to be rewarded. Think of it, there's two sides. They call it, remember the futures game in commodities or U.S. Treasuries. The futures game is called a zero-sums game. Somebody wins, somebody loses. It's flat. You're not creating anything. It's just there's a winner and a loser. So you can make a case for rates going up. You can make a case going down. It doesn't really matter if the numbers work for you. And that's where we work with our clients. Where can we help you get to? When you go to the barber or hairdresser, I haven't been to a hairdresser in a long time. You don't tell them how to cut your hair. You tell them what you want your hair to look like. So come to us. Do you want to buy? Do you want to sell? Where do you want to get? What are your goals? And we help you get there. And that's how we differ a little bit. So anyway, we've got some running around to do today. We're going to preview. There's a Camelback. There's a property auction. I think it's starting at $2.5 million. Property's worth $5 or $6 million. So we're going to go preview that today. Maybe we'll go live. We'll at least do a post. And I think the auction is early next week, but the preview's today. So that should be neat. I always love property auctions. They're fun. And, if you're interested in that, if you're looking for a house on Camelback in the $5, $6, $7 million range, let us know. Maybe we can help you pick up a deal. I got to register beforehand, but we're going to go check that out today. We've got the land in Tonopah still, $250,000. Make an offer. Make us an offer. I think we're going to stop right there. I think it's priced a little bit high, obviously, because we haven't an offer yet. Land takes a little more time. But make us an offer. Give me a call. I'll give you the details. It's 40 acres in Tonopah. We've got that little house under contract. That was fun. That'll be fun to get closed. And, we find solutions for our clients. So, also, just real quick, you've seen some of our hiking videos. Let me know if you can hear me. I got these Shocks earbuds for mountain biking. And I started using them for business because they're pretty comfortable and I can still hear. So they're called Shocks. Let me know if you can hear me or not. Anyway, 4:30 tomorrow morning. Every month we do a full moon hike, the morning of the full moon. So we'll be at 4:30 tomorrow morning at the base of Black Mountain in Cave Creek. Maybe we'll do a live going up or a live at the top. It's just a mile up and a mile down 1,200 feet elevation. It's not easy, but it's a good leg burner. But if you want to come meet us, check it out. Message me, let me know. It's park on Schoolhouse Road and head up the mountain. So it's great. It's a great hike. You can be up in half an hour. You can have the whole thing done in an hour. So let us know if we can help you buy or sell. And thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Have a great day. Be smart, be safe, and hopefully we'll touch base later. Thanks. Bye. 203-733-5877. Bye.